Hi all, this is Simona Rich, and in this video I'm going to analyze the natal chart of Bollywood star Sushant Singh Rajput, who was recently, people believe that he was killed, but it was, his death was put as suicide, although no further investigations were done. So I want to see his chart, and he wasn't a typical Bollywood person who got his fame through evil ways or because he was a blood relative of someone in the Bollywood already. So he was an outsider, and that's why he was really hated by people in the industry. And I think that they definitely saw him as a threat because he was extremely smart and he was so good looking, such a beautiful person, and therefore he got killed. Many people believe that Bollywood was just jealous of him. They want to keep the standards average because most Bollywood stars, they know nothing. Their intelligence level is very low, and they are okay making movies that are without any meaning. It's just all about showing skin and low morals. So I think that they were threatened by his views on life, by his spirituality, and so he got killed. So I don't know the time of birth of him, and there is one side mentioning that he was born at 2:15 a.m., but I don't think it's accurate because that would make his ascendant in Scorpio, and I don't think he had those external features of a Scorpio person, and then the interest would be very different. So I believe that the time of around 9 to 10 a.m. would be most suitable for him, because that would make him in the first degrees of Aries. The ascendant, especially if it's 0 or 1 degrees of Aries, would really suit him, and I will tell you why. Because when I watched his interviews, and I didn't know this star before, I did watch one movie of him, which was excellent, but from the interviews of him that I saw and from the biography that I saw, this chart matches him because he comes across as extremely energetic person. So already it's Aries. His desires are very strong. That's Mars in the 8th, and also you can see Mars is connected to Jupiter, and I wouldn't say easily, but he achieved very big desires in his life. He had great desires. Look, 11th house of goals is so energized. We see 3 personal planets, and we see Jupiter there, so that already shows great desires. He is the person who bought land on the moon. He was the person who learned to operate airplanes. Jupiter in 11th goals, but he didn't do it as an occupation. He didn't even get the license, but he just did that because he loved it. So here we see a big goal of becoming a pilot. That's exactly what this can signify. This placement can signify. He also was highly educated, yet he quit his studies. Saturn in Sagittarius. He was I think he had an engineering degree. I would say that Uranus in Sagittarius could describe that. So, and also look, midheaven conjuncts Neptune. He was an actor. His mom was one of the most important things in his life. Cancer on the cusp of the 4th house. And we can see the ruler of Cancer is Moon, which is connected to Saturn, which could mean the death of the mom. She did die, and we can see Chiron is conjunct Moon, the death of the mother. And he was abroad when she called, and he died when she was abroad I mean, she died when he was abroad, and he was always so unhappy about it. So he knew he couldn't just come to see her at that time when she called, although she didn't say about her health problems. But it was always a regret of him. And when she died, he was a teenager, and after that, his philosophy of life totally changed. Nothing made him happy that before would make him happy. So here we can see Saturn in the ninth. Philosophies became more realistic. Views of life have changed as a result of the death of the mom. Also, Moon conjunct Chiron could mean that he was mentally hurt by the fact that his mom died, and he couldn't mentally recover from that event. And also, Moon square Saturn means that his self-esteem may have become lower as a result of the death of the mom, and that he started to the mind became more depressed. Because often we can see that people who suffer from depression have this particular aspect, Moon square Saturn. And it also means that he will work very hard to prove himself because of the way that he feels about himself. And he was not married. We can see the sun. It's called combust Venus. When the sun burns some planet because it's too close to it, it makes the planet weaker, so it doesn't function the way that it should. So he wasn't married, and that could be the indication. Sun, Venus is too close to the sun, and also because the moon is connected with Saturn, sometimes that shows that the person will have few relationships or will remain single. And we can see that Venus is connected with Pluto. That means that if he's interested in someone, he will totally be into that person. This could mean, this square could mean that they will have high ideals for the partner. They will try to get a partner who will meet their ideals. This particular square of Venus and Pluto means that he has great desire for wealth, but financial problems will be there. And this is confirmed by Taurus on the cusp of the second house, that he wants to gain great wealth, but also when he does, there could be some catch involved because of the presence of Lilith. And it could the presence of Lilith in the second means that he is extremely interested in gaining wealth, and unless he developed himself, he would use underhand methods to obtain it. And this placement could also mean that he's very interested in the physical pleasures. And the fact that I believe that his ascendant is Aries because he was always wanted to be the first. He was definitely the type of a leader, and he was the first, I guess, the first really famous personality. I could be mistaken, I don't know, but definitely one of the first people who got it made, got it big from a place that is not well known. So, and he is also, I know he was very interested in some sports. I think it's rugby that he played. So again, that's the quality of Aries. So I believe this chart suits him very well. He even got a tattoo on his back of him and his mom. That's how attached he was to his mom. And this is of course reflected in this natal chart. And also we can see that the cusp of the 6th is in Leo. Leo is all about show, entertainment, so he was an actor again. This is extremely suitable for him. his 7th house is in Libra. Libra is about beauty, and he had a very good looking girlfriend for 6 years. We can see here that the ruler of the 7th is Venus, which is in Aquarius. That's not a sensual sign, and Aquarian people can be faithful. They are not the ones that are known to be interested in cheating. So we can see also that Venus is connected with Saturn, and that also can give loyalty. And look at the 8th house and planets close to it. They're all malefic. So again, that's another reason why I thought that this could be the correct birth chart, because that places the ruler of Aries in the house of death, and Mars in the 8th. It's a little bit afflicted here, but the square is to Jupiter. But it could mean that he basically tried to reach too high for his own good, considering the square to Jupiter, that it's his big dreams in life that actually ended up killing him. So he got into the industry and he had such big dreams there, and people saw him as a threat and they just took his life, I believe, because if indeed this chart is the correct chart, that would indicate if Mars is afflicted in the 8th, it can indicate premature and also quick or violent death. We can see even Pluto is very close, which Pluto signifies underworld and also death, again strengthening the possibility. And also Saturn is again almost in the 8th house, which Saturn also signifies death. And so the more since Saturn in this chart opposes Moon, and the opposition is very close. And Moon signifies, in astrology, it signifies the mother, it can signify wife, mind, and the body. And most of these are suitable for him. Saturn, Moon opposition Saturn can mean the death of the mom. This happened. Depressed mind. He did suffer from depression, and the death of the body. So 3 out of 4 options apply to him. Uranus in Sagittarius. He had such unusual. He was pursuing unusual dreams. Very interesting things, like for example, he was interested in space and he bought one of the most expensive, I think, telescopes to see the rings of Saturn. Look at that, in the 9th. Sagittarius, Saturn is there, and also Uranus, which signifies astrology, space, these things that are advanced, futuristic things. And he was interested in astronomy, in religion. He was a spiritual person. He understood that wealth, although he desires wealth, that it doesn't actually bring happiness for him. This particular placement also shows that he had unusual religious views, and that he may have wanted to change the way that people perceive spirituality so that it's more inclusive, especially because of the fact that Jupiter is connected with Uranus. However, we can see also that Saturn is located in the same sign of Sagittarius, which actually gives a little bit almost opposite characteristics. But in his case, considering the fact that so many planets, 3 planets are in the sign of Aquarius, he would not be swayed by the traditionalism, which sometimes this particular placement indicates, but it would be more that he would be very fixed in his spiritual views. So whatever he believes spiritually, he would believe this to be true, and it would be difficult for him to change his opinions. He had his own spiritual views, which he was happy to share with the world. So again, that's totally like Sagittarius being in the 9th house, not hiding but sharing, actually teaching people about his spiritual views. He had such a good combination for success in whatever he wants to achieve, and he did achieve whatever he wanted. He just kept working on what he wanted to achieve, and then he did achieve it. For example, we can see that, as I said, the placement of Mars in the 8th and Scorpio also being the ruler of the 8th house, it's already such a strong combination, and it's connected with the house of goals and with Jupiter. So if he keeps acting on his goals, he will achieve, and those goals are great. And also we can see that Mercury is connected with Mars, which means that to pursue his dreams, he relies on his intelligence, and if he keeps acting, luck is on his side. And Mercury, I like this placement of Mercury being in Capricorn, because these people are extremely smart, they're extremely intelligent, they don't take stupid decisions, they think well about how to proceed next, and wherever they find themselves in, they will eventually, through the use of intelligence, will make it to the top. So this is a good placement in my opinion. It's a good placement for Mercury, and it shows also that the person is they don't have their heads in the clouds, they are down to earth, they see how things are, and they can work with the tools that they have and not give up. Even if their tools are not good, they don't give up, they keep working, and then that's what Capricorn does. It rewards people who are hard workers, and then they get better tools to work with, and they keep working until they achieve what they want. This is a generational placement, but Neptune in Capricorn isn't that good of a placement. It may show that the father was either sickly or maybe addicted to some mind-altering substance, or just a weak personality. But again, as I say, this is a generational placement, but since it's also in the 10th, the ruler, which is the rulership for Capricorn, it just makes it even stronger in his case. So again, we can see that since Aries is the right placement in the 1st house, the whole chart becomes strong. Aries is energy, and it shows that just all the placements are correct for in the chart. It's because it starts with Aries, so the chart is energized just for that. And because he was a soul exploring this physical realm, just starting to explore it, his goal is, his meaning in life was to do with learning how to acquire material and mental possessions, and then learning how to use those possessions. And he was just starting to learn to acquire them and to understand that they don't bring benefit, and maybe the next step would be to give that wealth to people who are in difficult situations, just to help them. But I think that would have been his next step, to learn to employ that wealth so that it really brings benefits. his part of fortune is in Leo, so here we can see that he was doing the right thing in life to invite luck in his life, which was about showing himself in the world, being photographed, creatively expressing himself, acting. This is all to do with the activities of this sign Leo. So this chart had great potential for him. He would have achieved extreme success were he not to die, but as a result of Mars being in the 8th, that sometimes indicates premature death, and he kept activating this placement with his great goals and actively pursuing them, and unfortunately this did not suit the Bollywood industry, and probably they ended his life. And also we have Pisces in the 12th house, which can also indicate, and since the ruler of Pisces is conjunct his midheaven, that could mean that his death was to do with his work. And also that there was something unusual about his death, because Pisces is about things that are not clear, things that are mystical, things, and also Neptune, the same, things that are hard to work out. So there could have been some kind of mystery to do with his death. His mother totally influenced his self-expression, and a lot of what he did in life was because of his mother. I also forgot to add that Moon's connection with Saturn means that the mind finds it difficult to let go of what happened. So he might have dwelt on past events quite a lot, and if they were of negative, depressive nature, he might have been depressed as a result of this. So this placement shows the inability or difficulty of the mind to let go of past events. So that's all I have for this chart. I hope that it was useful to you, and if you have any more comments to make about him or his chart, then do leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Take care.